What up, what up? Hit 'em up. Tesseract up next in our Protoss versus Terran showdown. TopRamen is once again going to be an absolutely unrecognizable color. I'm going to say this one is just regular black. There you go. You know, it's a subtle difference between black and jet black, I'm just saying. Now, Hit 'em up is, of course, down here as, I'm going to say this is Glacial. And there we go, he is the Protoss on the bottom left. Tesseract, we've seen this once before, it was ZVT. Ovaleth dropped them by Zero Cores, absolutely bodied TopRamen after the Vultures were stuffed courtesy of a single Circuit. And of course, 4 Zero Cores holding it. And there we go. There we go, there we go. Yeah, Hit 'em up does have to find those to show how bad it is. And, you know, Ramen is going to be like, I don't know, maybe I'm just missing something. Big brain. If you want, Hit 'em up, if you want me to see how bad TVP is, show you losing as Terran, because you're the best player. And if you lose, then it must be Imba. That's what you have to do. But I'm only seeing you win. And, you know, I'm not seeing Imba. I'm not seeing it. I just can't see it. So there you go. By the way, for those wondering about the dates for the next Acropolis, Acropolis number 3, it should be going live, I want to say April or May. That's usually when we were thinking about bringing it back in that respect, from April into May or stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm not worried about, you know, getting the balance right before the tournament or anything. We've got some months to go before then, right? I am still hoping and dreaming of the Ascosi's arrival. So maybe we'll see that. Maybe we'll get to it. Doing some iScript stuff. Making it happen. Fulcrums are indeed on the way. As per usual, as expected. What I want to see also is different styles. Maybe a Terran who likes to play bio out the gate. Stuff like that. Because obviously we're just seeing 2 players play right now for a lot of games. And so, hard to see what the styles are like. I do think that bio has some legs. I don't know about versus Protoss, but I know versus Zerg, it's very, very good. Vulture is going to awkwardly move around those Monuments of Sin. Oh, Blizzard. You pathfinding silliness. Now, the Scribe is on the way. Of course, as Protoss, you scout your opponent first. It's like a buff that you get as Protoss. Embassy on the way here very fast, so looks like Hit 'em up will be playing a more economic game. Could be going for a fast drop, though. This Vulture is kind of just chill it. And we'll actually see the Scribe come out, but not react very fast. Seeing the 3rd Fulcrum right out and early like that is maybe a bit rough, because it is something that maybe he wanted to keep secret. Now, we do have 2 Gate Drakodin, just like on Court Martial, so this is not too surprising. And we'll probably end up seeing the Mason confirm that when you see this count of Drakodins, you're like, okay, yeah, probably multi-gate. And at that point, you do need to start thinking about Phalanxes to bust. Or Goliaths, you could try to muscle through without an add-on. You do need some more gas mining for that, either way. Couple of mines being laid. I don't know about this versus Protoss, because they'll probably just hug this line, right? So, yeah. He's trying to respect the fact that you do get that bonus weapon range by 1 when shooting down a cliff, so don't want to necessarily do it right underneath their nose. Now, you could fake this out. You could finish the 3rd Fulcrum and go straight for a Ministry and play a little bit more defensively and see if you can't just smash him, because he is going for the Witness, and that is going to, like, 2-Gate Embassy is kind of like, it's kind of like 2 or 3 gate robo obs or something like that in Starcraft 1 PvT, where you get that fast obs so that you can scout the mines, right? And it just kind of makes you, it's like a well-rounded build, if you will. There's some things that could target it to bust or whatever, but for the most part, it's pretty well-rounded. Now, this Witness is already across the map, already moving in, and it's going to see that there is a Ministry, there's a Palladium, and that the Fulcrums are idle. Remember also that you can click on a structure when you have detection of it, and it will tell you the progress bar, the unit that's being made, all of that very important info. Now, the Drakodins are thinking about moving across the map here. Oh my god! What a god! What a G! He's trying to use his Cyclops. He's trying to use it. Trying to use it to splash. I can't believe it. I really respect that. Unfortunately, it didn't quite matter, and now the Drakodins are here. First Phalanx is out. He can lay some offensive mines, and he should just be fine. First stun does go live. Phalanx is going to go ahead and get some good value there. I love the attempted flank with the Vultures and such, but they're out of range of the Phalanx. This is actually a little bit of a big misplay, I would say. A little bit of a big misplay, you know what I mean? Get them mines laid, boy. Second phalanx on the way. Despite the fact that the lack of detection means that the witnesses can just stand here and laugh at you and just show the mines, it is still something where they have to step into potential threat range of the phalanx, right? Yeah, you got to be cautious here. Nexus already complete, Ministry as well. Hey, our players are, Ramen's still behind in workers, but our players are doing all right when it comes to keeping tempo with each other. Third gate and the Crucible to turn... Basically, the Crucible turns every 4 gates into a fifth gate for free, is one way you can think of it. Or maybe it's more than that. I can't remember. It might be more than 25% efficiency. It might be 33%, in which case, basically, you get 3 gates turns into 4. It's a bit more impactful on higher tier structures, but it's still cool to see what we saw in Court Martial, where there were 11 gateways around a single Crucible. Impressive. All right, going up to what looks to be 5 Folk. We might see Ramen go for a Stockade pretty soon for sustain and detection via the Shaman. And yeah, coming out here and seeing that the Striders are still there, it is kind of reducing the amount of map vision that he can get. Although with the second entrance into the sort of that domain for HitEmUp, it does feel like Ramen could have maybe pinched off a couple of vultures for that exact purpose. He's going to go ahead and lay some more mines. He is still kind of defending them with the phalanxes, but the Striders could actually be being a little bit more active. HitEmUp just has bigger fish to fry. He's already got his 9 o'clock nearly complete. That is going to give him a lot of ridges to mine from if he wants that extra Vespine for some tech, and it's pretty good mineral income as well, of course. Now some vultures are indeed going to slip on by. This is probably starting to feel like StarCraft 1 for him, where he's always trying to play. He's playing from behind a little bit when it comes to the eco. He's trying to catch back up, but no, HitEmUp is just a monster when it comes to that. I would love to see where HitEmUp is finding difficulty in this matchup. If he's so confident that it's OP for Protoss or, UP underpowered for Terran. And we say goodbye to Smarty Cakes, who seems to have been lagging out or something. And yeah, I think overall, when I'm seeing what I'm seeing from this, I would like to see where HitEmUp himself is struggling, because I'm sure you look to HitEmUp and you think, what's he doing? He's the thought leader for the whole game, basically, as far as meta strategies are concerned. He's the best player that we got active right now. By the way, if you think you could beat HitEmUp, sign up on Cosmonarchy. Dude, join our Discord server, start playing, ping him, say, you're a fraud, I'll beat you as Terran, and then beat him as Terran and make him reconsider his whole life choice. Anyway, the gateway count is indeed rising. And I just like to see what those weaknesses are in HitEmUp's mind. Now, it looks like the Striders have been befooled, similar to what I was saying earlier. Now, he is diving forward with all of his Cyclops, all of his Vultures, and that is opening himself up to that counterattack. But even still, only good for killing one of the Phalanxes, trading all those Striders for it. Again, not the most efficient, but remember that HitEmUp does have 20 or 15 workers to the better. He does have another base up and running. He does have a lot of gateways, so he will be able to stabilize here on pure Drac. We are going to need to see more Vultures. We are going to need to see more Phalanx. And the fact that we pivoted into Cyclops from the perspective of Ramen does mean that he's better in longer fights, but those fights might swing in his opponent's favor. He needs to stabilize his army for longer periods of time, and that's where the Vultures are going to be more handy. And we do have more Phalanxes joining the fray. The mines are going to be good to help clear out those pesky Zealots, but look at that. Just stunning himself again. With so many of those lobotomy mines, we got more Vultures swinging on in. The Zealots making things happen. One Phalanx going down so far. As soon as those Striders turn their attention to them, it feels like this mech push is going to be cut short. And yeah, there were no more Vulture reinforcements swinging on in, so Ramen will end up losing on access to his Phalanxes, and that will be it. Still a pretty respectable gateway count here and gateway army for Mr. HitEmUp. He is adding Ecclesiasts into the mix, which is an interesting pivot. It's like he's all of a sudden thought, I can just pivot directly into sustain and beat out the Cyclops, right? If that's going to be the pivot from TopRamen. So perhaps anticipating it. It's only one add-on right now. One Palladium Phalanx is pretty slow to scale up. So that's why he was only adding, 1 or 2 every part of the push. Third base on the way here for Mr. Ramen, and a fourth base coming out. It's the natural of the top left player. That will be where HitEmUp takes his fourth. Nothing at 6 o'clock. Some mines, obviously, all over the place. Could be picked off by the Striders. Mason dispatched to move to the 3 o'clock, maybe? No, not quite. He's actually scouting top left. Of course, the Protoss will... Oh, no! He's going to get away! I don't believe this. Well, the Zealot will surely chase him down eventually. Surely. Wink. That man's getting all the way across. I don't give a shit. HitEmUp would have to actually micro the unit, basically. Where's it going, though? It's going to the top left natural. I think the Warden's going to pop him. He is. Well, meanwhile, there's an actual fight happening, so we should probably watch that. The Phalanxes are doing their best in conjunction with the mines. This feels like it's too overpowering, though. More Cyclops coming on down, but the lobotomy mines keep stunning TopRamen's critical units. And this is what happens when the macro machine gets up and running, you know what I mean? So Ramen has a bunch of extra Phalanxes. He did end up making an add-on, but he's got no chaff for them. And he's going to deploy them just to watch them go up in flames. A couple of shots go alive, and that's it. GG. Ramen has been dismantled yet again. And we will end up seeing a 2-0 start to the series. We've got 2 more games. Can HitEmUp be stopped? We go to Impulsion to find out. We've got TopRamen here in the top left as our Platinum Terran. And HitEmUp in the bottom right. I'm going to say this is Beaster Brown. It is. He is the Beaster Brown Protoss. I was thinking again about Golden Brown, but no, not quite. Not quite. I'm wondering about the resource allocation here. It feels like this is a more efficient patch, but anyway, we can do number crunching like that much later on. We have a pretty early scribe pull. Looks like it's just for a pylon by the ramp, and he is going to go ahead and return to mining, so not as aggro as maybe I first thought. And it looks like TopRamen will be idling for some more cash to splash. Needs that 200 minerals. There we go. Classic maneuver. All right. So what does Mr. HitEmUp want to do in this game? He has been going for 2 gate. It's a Warden start. He's hoping to basically stop the Vulture run by with just damaging it with the Warden, and then I guess killing any leftover Vulture HP with his scribes. That's my guess. You can just waypoint Vultures through this, and you expect Ramen to do just that. Meanwhile, we are going to see what HitEmUp wants to do for his secondary structure. Is it an Embassy start? I've seen Doglive do this kind of build, where he does Embassy Warden. Yeah, okay, it's Warden Embassy. I can't remember which order Doglive had it. It was probably Warden first, because you need the gas for the Embassy anyway. And this also makes it a little bit harder for the Vulture to move through, right? I don't think it can bypass through these 2 structures. It's not that thin, so it has to move around. Gives it a little bit more time for the Warden to do its job. Although, with the second Fulcrum here and the way that HitEmUp has been going up against third Fulcrum very, very quickly, this scribe is going to come a little bit late to the party there and, of course, be killed by the Vulture anyway. Yeah, I wonder about that. Here we go. Okay. I don't know what that was about. But it looks like the first Vulture is going to go ahead and lay the rest of its mines there. And maybe I should fraud you guys by making that the thumbnail. And it's like, ooh, nani? I do wish you could add sound effects to thumbnails, because obviously I would just be barking the whole time. YouTube would be a much more obnoxious place. But if it was a feature only I had, I think some of my viewers would probably find it enjoyable. All right. Vultures have laid their mines. They're having their cake and eating it too. Third Fulcrum on the way. Ooh, 4th Fulcrum? 4th Fulcrum on the way. He doesn't have money to make anything else out of his existing ones, but he's investing in the future, you know? He's cutting workers for this and everything. I don't know if he recognizes what exactly has happened, what exactly is taking place here. He's not going to know, because he's not going to... Nobody would scout the 3rd base at this time for artisans, of all things. Let's see. Vultures are laying their mines. Oh, he's going to see. Hey, you got a Warden up there. What the hell? Let's see what he does about that. Looks like it's just pure Vulture for now. We do have the Rogue Galleries coming. I'm suspecting it's Kabbalist. Eh? He's waiting. He's waiting for the second Rogue Gallery to finish, apparently. Oh, he's adding more Rogue Galleries. I guess that also makes sense. Second Warden. 3rd Artisan? Yeah. Yep, it is Kabbalist. Okay. So Kabbalists were updated semi-recently so that when they warp in, when they decloak, that decloak is gives them extra damage on their attacks. They deal 60 damage instead of 40. And so it's a very high, I believe the Night Fox has been calling it alpha damage. I just think of it as burst, you know, it's the upfront damage. But whatever you call it, the first strike is always more impactful. Now, the Vultures are going to go for it. There are 9 of them. And, oh, look at that. They can actually sneak on through. A little bit awkward on the micro there from HitEmUp, or from TopRamen. He should 100% just be going after these Kabbalists, considering they are so easily dealt with. Ooh, stunned. Stunned by the mine. All right, all right. Well, I stun everything, and the Artisan is here to tickle. There's obviously more vultures coming. We've got more Kabbalists about to pop out as well. Oh, he was after the mine. I don't know about that. Might have been a bad move. Maybe not. Maybe not quite. He's just being annoying with the vultures. I'm surprised. He made 4 folk. How does he have so few units? I guess it must have been a macro slip up or just didn't have the money or something. He is definitely being annoying. Well, when HitEmUp said that the games are often silly and that he's trying stuff, I can't believe that, you know, he just lets the Kabbalists out. In StarCraft 1, the mines automatically detect stuff, right? So it's not really the same thing here, because if you can't see it, the mine is not going to hit it. I can't believe the scribe stuns the last of the mines. Oh my god. Disaster has struck. Disaster is about to strike. Where'd the Kabbalists go? I wonder why he's not defending with those anymore. Meanwhile. Now, as long as they don't cloak, they're actually going to do less damage overall. But the vultures right now are not doing their best work over in the other base. Well, hey, there are 7 of them. He's not even defending. He's like, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to kill you with these, by the way. He needs to attack. He needs to attack. He's not attacking. Guys, the Kabbalists are going to kill the vultures. I can't believe this. I thought maybe if he just held the attack, right, he might have had something. But not quite. Oh, he's got more vultures. He could give it another go. He's going to give it another go. There's the lift. Vultures? Yeah, vultures. Don't worry, there's 4 more Kabbalists where that came from, and there's still 2 more that didn't die earlier. Where's the mine hit? Where's the mine hit? We need the juicy mine hit. I don't think we're going to get the mine hit. Damn, 36 workers, too, on this one base. A lot of them are artisans, actually. There's the drill. I was hoping for a mine hit on all the scribes. That would have been satisfying, but it looks like that's it. I can't believe... I thought for sure Ramen would take that one when he had the 4 folk versus the embassy, the warden embassy and stuff like that, but like I said, what did I say at the end of the last game? Can HitEmUp be stopped? And we would find an answer. There's one more chance. Let's see what happens. We find ourselves on Frosted Forest. We saw a game between Ayud's Protoss and HitEmUp's Terran, actually, pretty recently, and so HitEmUp is immediately sending his scribe out somewhere else. He might be warden rushing him. Or, no, he's just going to put a pylon up there. Yeah, that makes more sense. He is, of course, the... Is this just straight up purple? I think this might be Tyrian purple Protoss in the bottom left here, because it's a little bit darker than purple normally is. So I'll say Tyrian purple. Oh, but it was Palatinate. Tyrian is a lot darker than that, so that makes sense. Of course, Ramen in the top right, he is the Platinum Terran. And what will we end up seeing between these two today? I do feel like, again, maybe I'm putting too much faith in the Terran roster as far as their like what they have for units and structures. That doodad is misplaced. But that doodad is also... Wait, is it? Yeah, it is. It's also misplaced. Yep. I'm just so good. I can tell you that doodad's misplaced. Yep. Yeah, this is what I do with my life. I know exactly on a per tile basis where those doodads go. You could call me a dad expert of the do variety. Who's doing dad? So it is an embassy first. Again. And there's the warden. So that is... I don't think that's vulture tight. I think they might be able to slip through there. But either way, it might not matter. We'll see. Second fulcrum already on the way here for TopRamen. Maybe the resource availability... Again, on Impulsion, it might be a little bit different there. Just something to think about. I don't know if you're getting less money from those returns. But I do think that Terran has some tools here and some play here in a couple of these spots. Misplaced you did. But I do think that one of the things I was just thinking about is I wonder if you just minus 25 mineral cost from the stockade and the fulcrum and just see what happens. Because it could be a thing. You could do that. Ah, Rogue Gallery to try to seal the gaps here. It is going to be a Rogue Gallery start. Oh no, the scribe is still alive. Ooh. Well, he doesn't scout too much of anything. I mean, he might not... I don't even think he scouted far enough to see that there's no gas income right now. But yeah, making it something that Terrans can do a little bit more is adding their production. that might be worthwhile. Instead of buffing the blackjack or anything like that, I think if we just make it so that Terrans can access their military a little bit easier, might be worth something. Now, whenever you do something like that, you do have to watch out because it means that 25 minerals cheaper, aka, 5 worker returns quicker, their first production structure goes down, it'd be at a stockade or a fulcrum. And you got to watch out for that. Does that make it unstable in the early stages of the game, right? So yeah, that's something that I might do that with the specific intent of saying versus Protoss, they're a little bit more even when it comes to their production. And then versus Zerg, for example, Stockade first, which I already think is very strong, ends up just running over Zerg or whatever in the early game because the Hurakan comes out faster or the first couple Mavericks come out a bit faster or whatever. You could get down to some very tight timings there, but maybe we can play around with that idea. Now, the Rogue Gallery is making Kabbalists, the Embassy is making Artisans. All is expected here. We've got 2 Artisans spinning on the same spot. Classic move. Palladium is done and making a first Phalanx. We're playing a much more defensive game here from TopRamen. He's also adding a Lodestone to preemptively defeat any would-be Kabbalists and throwing a Vulture in there. So a very defensive game, and I would say that that works out okay, but the problem is that this comes paired with the Embassy, and so if you anti-strat the Kabbalist a lot, then you could end up in a tough spot where you've anti-stratted the Kabbalist, but your opponent still has the Artisans out for extra income, right? So that was over and done with pretty quick there. There goes the Kabbalist. Will there be another one? Apparently. And he's adding more Rogue Galleries back at home. He did not scout out a star pad or anything, and we see that there is none, but there's a lot of room for it to have been hidden. He did see that there was no ministry obviously placed anywhere. So he should have a pretty good idea that Ramen is still committed on a one-base sort of military avenue here. And with the Phalanx, you can siege this stuff down, right? So there is that as well. Now we just need TopRamen to make a proxy treasury, a forward treasury, and then use that to make a lodestone so that he can aggressively detect the Kabbalists that are coming out. That's what I want to see. So as the Vultures stream on in, there is no way to stop the Artisans from doing what they're doing, since there is no anti-air. Which also, by the way, could be a problem if the going gets tough with the fight, and then HitEmUp pulls the Artisans to defend. We don't even have a Mason to build a Watchdog here, so the Artisans don't do that much damage, but they will eventually add up, right? Let's lay in some mines. Worried about any Vagrant pulls or anything like that. You can see the Matrix and the Warden have been revealed. Yeah, most of those mines end up going down. I think only one of them got, so there is that as well. One Goliath coming out, so it looks like Ramen recognizes that. He's going to go ahead and siege down the Embassy. A lot of Artisans have been queued up there, so that is a little bit worrisome. We have a third Phalanx on the way. We've got... Oh, he's actually preemptively defending any counterattack that comes out. Yeah, here come the Artisans, right? And the Goliath isn't even out of the structure just yet. So this is exactly what I was thinking about. Like, yeah, the Artisans don't attack that much. They don't have that much damage, but it's still going to stack up, right? Remember, you can reduce the damage by going into tank mode, then they'll only be dealing 3 damage, and that's exactly why HitEmUp immediately targets that left Phalanx instead, as it's continuing to do some damage. There we go. Yeah, he's forcing him to change targets a lot. Now, the first Kabbalist is, or not the first one, has he been making military units? Some of his military units are stuck in there. Now, here comes the big attack. Okay, I was going to say, there should definitely be some more units here. Now, the Vagrant count is not that high, and it's actually only Kabbalists anyway, so... I don't know. I mean, is this going to be enough Terran mech to deal with this? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, the Kabbalist count is still pretty damn high. All the mine hits just doing their best, On his way out, he's trying to pick the... he's going to get it. I think he's going to be able to get it. Oh, he's not targeting a different one. No, there we go. Oh, maybe not. He's going to get both. Nice. There you go. Now, he's still kind of wrecked. I mean, the Nexus is halfway complete. There is no Ministry. No, it just finished. And there's not that many units back at home. This was all off of 2 Folks, so he didn't have the most in terms of reinforcements. And now there's an ocean of Kabbalists on their way over, and there's no forward detection or mobile detection, no star pad, no nothing. And yeah, we're finding out that HitEmUp is having a tough time of it getting these units out. So that could have been even more decisive in favor of HitEmUp if those units had been there. SimCity strikes again. Another Nexus being put down as well. Just got steady gas mining this whole time. 4 extra gas miners still intact, and... Oh, I see. This is the Oh yeah, well they talked about this, but apparently the game plays out just fine. That is a classic move when that happens. He's still actually doing pretty well on the defense here compared to how many resources were put into this with all these Kabbalists. But again, yeah, there was no detection, right? And that's definitely no. Other than this, there's no detection. And so if there had been a lodestone over there at some point, that would have definitely helped out. There we go. It's going to be put together right now. And HitEmUp has an opportunity to maybe snipe it down before it finishes. No, he's just going to pull back. He's trying to snipe the Ministry instead. I guess that works out. I mean, there are some more coming. Is there a witness somewhere? I don't see it. I wonder how he saw that mine. That's what I want to know. Something's fishy. Some nice mine connections over here. Especially with that phalanx deployed. Yeah, that's going to definitely do more than enough to stave off the Kabbalists, but looks to me like HitEmUp is just going to go for the Argosy follow-up. What's happening? Killing you? I think HitEmUp is pranking. I think he's lying. Oh, okay, never mind. There was the ego move. All right, well, 4-0 clean sweep for HitEmUp. Some interesting strats with all of the rogue galleries and whatnot. Very, very cool. Very, very interesting. I will say, I don't think you can anti-strat that purely defensively. I did like the theory behind Ramen's push there. However, if he brings a Mason for a Watchdog, I think he shuts out the Artisans entirely. He kind of forces HitEmUp to respond to that and cancels the greed. That being said, there's many adjustments that HitEmUp could do. So don't worry, I'm still fine. And as I knock over everything on my table, I'll just remind you guys, we're still trying things out. Maybe we will try that minus 25 mineral cost. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for another Cosmonarchy cast. GG.